Hi everyone, I'm Teacher Eric and I am a consultant at iTutor Group and I teach English to Asians, mostly Chinese and Taiwan and some Japanese people in Asia. And today I'm going to share, I was kind of inspired by another YouTube consultant that works for iTutor Group, and I'll post a link to his YouTube channel in my description of the video. But one of the questions he got asked in a video that he did recently was, "Why did you get into, or how did you get into teaching English online?" So I'm going to share kind of my story. I guess it started, it's kind of interesting. I guess the idea of teaching kind of started when I first went to college, which was way back in 2002 when I started of January. Basically, I went to college, I enrolled, and I started as an elementary ed major and did that for maybe a semester or two, but didn't like how in the US, there's two things I don't like. One, a lot of the classes, in my opinion, are very out of control. There's little discipline. Really, there's not a lot the teachers can do other than don't do this or don't do that, or send them to the principal, or suspend them or expel them. I guess that's one thing I didn't like about the school systems in the United States. And the second thing is that they cater to standardized testing, which I am completely against. So, after a semester or two of elementary ed major, I ended up changing my major to counseling, and I actually got a double major, counseling and sociology. And then after I graduated, I think it was a semester later, I went to a seminary that was in very northern Indiana, the USA. And I made a friend with a Korean student that was there. And one day she just asked me out of the blue, would I be willing to try to teach her husband conversational English and to help him study for, and I forget the name of it, but it was one of those English exams that you need to pass in order to take classes in the United States. So I was like, okay, sure, why not? And I wasn't expecting payment or anything, but she and this was by the way, this was all in 2007. So I was like, okay, what I'll go ahead and teach him, and I wasn't expecting payment, but and I wouldn't have accepted payment if she would have offered it. But she was like, but she said, I can't pay you anything except I'll give you a meal whenever you come and teach him. So I was like, well, good, I'll get to try Korean food and I'll eat Korean food. So I spent about a year with teaching him, and when I first met him, about everything anyone said to him, his response was, "I am very sorry. I am new to English. Can you please repeat?" So, that's basically how I started with him. And I started, talking to him and going through vocabulary words, helping him study for the English exam that he needed to. In a year, I don't even, and after about a year, I don't even remember the last time I heard him say, uh, I'm very sorry, I'm new to English. Could you please repeat? So, yeah, that's kind of how I started. And then, the following year, I ended up moving to Korea, where I taught English there, which was a great experience. I taught to kids. I think the youngest I taught was 5 years old, and I also taught, and I taught mostly kids there, anywhere from 5 to 17. And then I also had one class of four adult females, and so that class was a lot of fun because it was very much conversational. But anyway, I ended up coming back to the United States, and maybe I'll do another video on why that was at some point. But I ended up having a family. I now have I'm now married, and I have two kids, one from a previous marriage and one from the current wife I have. So yeah, I ended up getting a family, and I and then like it was around about a year ago, last June, I got I basically found a job coach because I was having a hard time finding work and keeping jobs. So yeah, I got a job coach, and we started looking at jobs in my area. And well, we also started exploring some of my talents and strengths, and things that I might be interested in. And originally, I was looking for office work in my area, and I had a really good interview at a church that was near where I live, and I thought I might have gotten it. And like they said, they would get a hold of me last Thanksgiving in the United States, which is toward the end of November. And they didn't get a hold of me, so I called them, the following Monday, and I was like, hey, what's going on with this job? And they were like, we decided to give it to someone else who lived slightly closer than you. So I was kind of angry about that because I only was about I Google mapped it and I was 1.9 miles away from the church. And I was like, it didn't seem like a great reason, but that's another story. But, and then I was talking to my job coach one day and I told him, the job I really miss doing is teaching English. And he suggested, he said, companies in China and some other Asian countries are looking for online teachers. So have you thought about doing that? And I was like, I did not know they did that. But so we started looking at online teaching companies, and I got a few interviews with them and with a few of them. And iTutor Group was one that interviewed me. Initially, I got a few offers. I think I got 2 offers right away, and and one of them was from iTutor Group, and I forget what the name of the other group was. But I ended up going with iTutor Group mostly because the other one didn't seem to answer my questions I had. iTutor Group answered the questions I had, and I liked the salary that they offered me. And and Yeah, so I ended up, signing with iTutor Group and started last January 14th of 2019. So that was my first official day, and right now I'm in my 3rd month at iTutor, which if you remember earlier, I said that I'd say since 2014 I've had a hard time finding jobs and keeping jobs. So yeah, I'm grateful that I found this job with iTutor. I know, if you follow me on social media, sometimes I come across critical. The main thing I'm critical about is their rating system, which is a video for another day. But I think a lot of it's because I do like iTutor a lot, and I think they would be a lot better if they would resolve this issue that many of the consultants have. But that's a story for another video. But yeah, I am grateful for iTutor. It's been an amazing company. I like most of the kids and that I teach. I've met a lot of good people. And the thing that I really like that I started taking, if you once you get off of probation, you can there's an offer where the company allows you to take up to 20 sessions of Chinese lessons for free per quarter um, at Tutor Ming. So yeah, that's how I got into teaching English and online, and that's kind of my story. So anyway, if you like the video, please like, subscribe, and share. I would appreciate it, and I hope to do some more videos. Take care.